Hello, Vernon. How are you? Hello, everybody
Jo-
watching us there.
George, what's going on? Pleasure to be here, man.
It's an honor to be here as well. Thank you to all the organizers, Black Men Talk Tech, and Unicorn Ambition 2021 for having us and inviting us. Thank you. Um,
Yes,
I was concerned of not making it on time, but I think we are, um, you know, satisfying all expectations so far. So I'm glad to be here, talk about tech, blockchain, NFTs. Much respect and admiration for your project, Vernon. A lot to learn from that, and I hope we can expand that as well to all of the cities in not only in the U.S. but expand the model for equity all over the world.
for sure, for sure. It's a global conversation. It requires global players, and being in Miami yourself, and being from New York, and I'm in LA right now. You see how important it is for us to be able to come together, in these different locations. So let's rock and roll.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you wanna maybe start with introductions ourselves, and then we jump into our projects?
For sure, for sure. So I'll start it up. My name is Vernon J. I'm the CEO of Equity Coin. We are the first digital token that's backed by affordable housing. I've been in the multifamily real estate space for 16 years. It's been an absolute blessing. I've been blessed to do over, at this point, it's 130 million in transactions. Um, and in the last 6 years, I've been heavy into blockchain. I mean, I've been able to travel to Dubai to the blockchain events over there, to Hong Kong, to different parts of the country, learning about how real estate and blockchain intersect. And it's been a beautiful journey. Uh, and then last year, actually, I started to rent out some of my units to recently homeless families, because there's a program in New York called City FEPS, and they provide 5 years of guaranteed rent for landlords who are ready, willing, and able to take families that are in shelters and provide them with permanent housing. And it was at that moment when I handed the keys to a young mother. She was about 30 years old. Her son is about 10 years old, and when I handed her the keys to the apartment, she broke down in the craziest tears. It was I've I've never felt more purposeful than at that moment. And what that moment taught me was that I wanted to do that 1,000 times over. And the way that I was going to be able to do that is by taking my knowledge of real estate and then marrying that with my knowledge of blockchain to be able to allow community members to come together to invest with one another to create more affordable housing so that we can get more families off of the street. And it's a win-win all around, where uh, people who really need housing get it. Um, People who have been marginalized in communities like East New York, like South Los Angeles, North Miami, they are able to take part in that income producing, generational wealth building endeavor. And then the cities, they're able to get people off the street. So I think what we're seeing with blockchain and what we're seeing with these projects like Equity Coin is the new sharing equity economy. And I'm sure we'll be able to dig further into that as we go on.
Absolutely, I think that these are powerful technologies in terms of their disruption cycles and just as disruptive innovation models in general. They not only influence our daily life, but also they influence and have major impact on different multiple industries. In the case of blockchain, we see not only on the technology sector, but also on the finance, on the traditional way of understanding capital, understanding money, and understanding how the financial system works. Every country has its own perhaps financial system regulated in different ways. And what blockchain comes and brings to the game as building a new era is really the science and technology to provide to the ones at the end of the line first. And it sounds like cliche, but it's real, it's tangible, it is happening. And I think I want to touch a little bit on what we're doing, tackling these amazing opportunities that blockchain and NFTs are bringing as far as Beat Basel. My name is Jorge Cortes. I'm originally from Colombia, but been in Florida and in Miami for 20 years. I've been more than 10 years building Miami's innovation and tech ecosystem. My first tech company was in 2006, helping developers and real estate builders to present their projects digitally as renders or rendering. Then I have a company called Bright Solar Solutions in 2008, right before the crisis. And then by around 2012, I joined the Lab Miami and met the founders and started to get more hard skills and coding lessons for building more tech products. So I'm super happy to be, you know, I guess one of those first groups learning how to build a tech and innovation ecosystem. After the lab, after a couple of years, I went to create multiple other concepts of co-working spaces in that aspect of commercial real estate, where that creates value for the communities around it, and it's a transfer of knowledge hub that only helps expand not only transfer of knowledge but education at large. So and after that, just more recently, I'm co-founder of Beat Basel. It's our local NFT hub and community, crypto art community, bringing events like the Bitcoin 2021 conference, help it and facilitated, bring that down here to Miami from California. And of course, we're trying to explore and push the technology forward with some of our activities like hackathons and coming back to the equity conversation that you were mentioning. We have been since December 2020 when we created Beat Basel. We have been working with artists, traditional artists, to understand and learn more about blockchain and NFT technologies, and have an impact in their lives. When these artists come from selling their physical art pieces for 100 or 200 or $300, and then once they get into the learning curve of blockchain and NFTs with Beat Basel, they're now with the proper business mindset that you always have to push to artists, with launching their new collection of NFTs as a new technique of NFTs. They are starting to sell their pieces or their NFTs for 1 or 2 or 3 ETH, which represent almost like five, six, $7,000, just on one piece, right? So their increase on their revenue and income as a traditional artist has become much better for their day-to-day activities and their life, improving their lives and understanding and getting into the core of how to use technology tools like NFTs for their own personal development. So this is some of the activities we have been doing at Beat Basel, but kind of like within the same framework of equity and building equity. We can now start for the ones at the end of the line, right? Through applying technology.
For sure. And just in that same vein, you know, George, I'd like to just talk about the birth of the sharing equity economy, right? I think 15 years ago, if I told you that you were going to stay in a stranger's home um, and use an app, quote unquote Airbnb, to stay in a stranger's home, you would think I was nuts, right? You would think I was
Absolutely.
crazy. It wouldn't happen. Today, it's commonplace. Same thing with, um, Uber. If I told you you were going to ride in a stranger's car, and be able to take your car and make money, where
Yep.
you're creating equity in your ownership of your vehicle or whatever that case may be. So that what we saw with Uber, Airbnb, Toro, we saw the sharing equity economy 1.0, right? And what that did was it disrupted um, the taxi commissions. It disrupted the hotel lots, because these people now, these companies, or these consigliaries, are not able to control the entire market um, anymore, right? So now I think blockchain is the sharing equity economy 2.0, where now you're decentralizing it completely. Just like you said, these artists are now able, because of NFTs, they're able to create more
Yep.
value than they ever had before, because of the decentralized nature, and because people can own fractions of these artworks. And then when you apply that same concept to what we're doing with equity coin, when I'm doing affordable housing projects, the hardest part of that project is the financing, and that's the hard part, because the banks have a monopoly on how they distribute money, where they distribute money to, and who they give it to. And if you go to neighborhoods like East New York, like for example in Brooklyn, um, and you have a derelict property that needs a lot of work, the bank is not willing to give you favorable rates, simply because of where it's located. If you take that same derelict property and you put it in a location that has better, quote unquote, demographics, that the
Hmm.
bank feels is better, they're going to give incredibly better um, rates and terms for that loan, in order for you to take that derelict property and turn it into something that could be housing homeless. So I think what the reason why I use blockchain is because we can't rely on the bank to be able to provide this liquidity, provide the access. And with the blockchain, you can actually tap into the community, so that the community can come together and be able to increase the value of where they live, right? So I'm I just want to premise this conversation just by saying that blockchain technologies, it's the sharing equity economy 2.0, and we're going to start to see many companies come to light that are going to tackle these monopolies that we've had in the last century.
Absolutely. The sharing economy, just like you are describing, I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's just here to stay. But it will certainly have the integration of multiple other technologies, perhaps like blockchain, where the processors are more transparent, and we are able to use properties that blockchain offers, like traceability, and like accountability to every single thing that it's happening. Another example that I've seen recently, it's a company giving people a job in 17 days, by first having them download the app, submit their CV or their resume on a smart contract application, on a blockchain smart contract application, to validate that you indeed went to that university or indeed work for that company. And then once your CV, your resume is validated, you start getting interviews between 3 to 5 days and a job in 17 days. That's their promise. So this allows not only that simple process allows the recruiters or the companies who are hiring to also have your resume in a decentralized database where you can actually on the next cycle, or if you were not the feed in that company after a month or two, your CV, your resume is already validated. It's already stored on a safe and secure database where you can access to more job opportunities faster than ever before, and it's not in the process of acquiring or getting a job in the general market. It's now being able to you are able to make it faster, and better, just in general for people who are more independent and are looking for traditional job opportunities, correct? So so that definitely the sharing economy is not going anywhere. Is using more traceable, safe and secure platforms and technology, and of course, blockchain is bringing these things somehow to reality, just like NFTs are doing it for the digital arts and now traditional artists as well. Um, I still think that there's a lot of more to explore, and pardon me if I go off topic on our things, on our end, because I love your concept and I want to keep digging more there. We have Miami and Florida, tremendous amount of cities, small and medium size, and big cities like Miami, with a tremendous amount of inequality. In just a large Miami has migrations from the Caribbean, from Jamaica, from Haiti, that takes a longer time for those migrations or migrants to join society. Maybe they don't speak English nor Spanish. Maybe they not related. Their levels of education are very low, and providing them with dignity, with dignity, house, affordable housing, and programs like what the ones you are proposing. I would love to explore and switch the conversation there a lot more. Would you expand a little bit of where you guys? I know you spoke of how you guys came about, and the experience, but how are you guys developing or taking it to market? Where can people acquire the coin? How does it work a little bit more? I would love to explore that here for Florida. Absolutely, replicate those models.
Oh, no, for sure. So again, when I had this idea about a year and a half ago, and the first call that I made was to one of my best friends, who's a cryptographer. He's been one of my best friends for about 9 years, and he actually helped Venmo and PayPal build out their blockchain system. And I called him. I said, "Look, I need you on my team for Equity Coin. It's a project where we're gonna tackle homelessness by tapping into the blockchain." And I didn't expect it, but he was on board like immediately. And from there, we got our compliance officer, which I just want to make sure that anybody listening today, if you're thinking about starting a cryptocurrency, or if you're starting a security token, or if you're starting anything dealing with blockchain and financial services or financial instruments, it's very important that you get your compliance officer on board at the beginning. You're going to want to make sure that you are doing everything you have to compliance wise with the SEC. If you get a little bigger, you're going to start dealing with FINRA, SIPC. So that's my word of advice right there. If you look at our balance sheet, majority of our expenses are on the compliance side, um, and then just continuing on, how our company is structured. We've got um, somebody on the team who's lead certified, which means that they are a leader in engineering, where all of our properties are managed in a way that uh, it's sustainable. That's a very important part of I guess development in the real estate sector. We also have Javon Sharp on the team, who is a master strategic advisor. We've got the editor at Black Enterprise on our board um, on our board of directors. So when you're building out any company, I think, or any company in general, you want to make sure that you have all your bases covered, and that's exactly what we were able to do with Equity Coin. We have 2 assets in Brooklyn, New York, right now, and we're expanding from East New York. Brooklyn is where we have our first properties, and then we're expanding to North Miami, South Los Angeles, and West Philadelphia. And the reason why, yeah, the reason why we chose those 4 corridors is because they are very close to large municipalities. So the income that we can generate is very high, relative to the amount of purchase of the amount that we purchase the assets at. And then from there, we hope to go inward into the country to be able to tackle some of the homeless issues that we see nationwide. And I think
Yep.
with blockchain, what you're gonna see is that you're gonna see companies come to light that are tackling the biggest issues in the nation, because really what the blockchain is allowing you to do, it's allowing you to disrupt the normal status quo. And the status quo is what got us into the problem in the first place, right? The fact that me as a small time developer, a real estate developer, has a hard time finding financing for affordable housing projects just shows why we have such a affordable housing crisis. There are people out there like myself who are ready, willing, and able to roll their sleeves up and provide housing, but without the funding and the financing, it becomes exponentially harder. So blockchain is filling that void and allowing us to raise capital where we otherwise wouldn't be able to raise capital. And then we're also giving opportunities to people to invest in real estate that historically has not owned real estate, right? And that
Mhm.
there's two different I guess issues that we're tackling: the affordable housing crisis, but then also the generational wealth gap. Those are 2 separate things, but with Equity Coin, we come together and we're trying to tackle both at the same time. Uh, so right now we have a new capital raise that's going to be starting in the next few weeks. If anybody wants to learn about that raise, you can go to equitycoin.org and you can go to the
There you go.
bottom and just sign up for our white paper. You will be the first person, the first people to know about the next raise. And then as an Equity Coin holder, you get
Can you
quarterly
repeat it? Do you mind
dividends that are
repeating it?
right to your bank account.
Do you mind repeating it again?
For sure. So,
Equitycoin.com, you said?
and so it's equitycoin.org.
Oh, .org.
Equitycoin.org. Um,
Right.
yep. You go. Yep. You go there. Go to the bottom of the page, um, and we'll send you the information for the white paper. Um, and as I was just saying, as an Equity Coin holder, you get quarterly dividends sent directly to your bank account or added to your equity wallet, in order to, and that income is coming from the real estate income that we have from the cities, from in the different cities. And just to give you a tidbit as to why this affordable housing is lucrative, during the 2020 season, the 2020 year, we were able to collect 100% of our rent because we opted to go with Section 8. We opted to go with city FEPs. And these are programs that are funded by the city, and they guarantee the rent. So, unlike other landlord friends that I have who were not able to collect their rent because of COVID, um, when you go the affordable housing route, you're able to protect your downside. So that's an important part of, I think, our equation of what we're doing here, and where we're headed. So I'm excited to field any questions that anybody might have about Equity Coin and what we're doing with the sharing equity economy.
Absolutely. I love it. Congratulations, Bernard, for that. I think I already submitted my name on the site and waited to go to the next level and see how we can collaborate here in Miami, because it's so needed. And we're having an influx. And just to jump and transition into our next topic, that I would like to explain. We are going through a time in Miami where we have it not only, you know, it's a city welcoming immigrants, but right now what we are having most movement on is on a tremendous influx of people from mega cities, like San Francisco and New York, Chicago, coming to live here in Miami, and it's creating tremendous, uh, I guess, um, I guess, raising questions around the community, because, of course, the prices of the real estate is going up, and some people cannot afford it, and it's important to have this type of programs like what you're proposing to balance that out. In our end, what we're doing is we're creating something called the Miami DAO, the Decentralized Autonomous Organization.
Mm.
It is another use case of blockchain technologies that uh, started to appear a few years ago, more in groups of developers and companies and organizations that work more projects development, computer science and development projects, and gathering together to not only work together remotely, but also distributing certain treasury and certain funding for these projects, or just to get paid through something called DAOs. Today, DAOs are mainstream. Maybe not like NFTs, but it's going in that direction. There's community DAOs, there's private DAOs, and there's the typical traditional DAOs. What I explained, like groups of developers who gather as a DAO and they work on projects mutual. But what we are proposing here is, as the Miami DAO, it is a next level of governance, where people have a right to vote, exercise voting, to have the ability to ask for grants for specific projects in their community, and it's all absolutely utilizing the best abilities and best properties of blockchain technologies, like transparency and traceability of where the funding and where the funds are going or being transferred to. So as Miami DAO, uh, we have a group of women that I like to call the founding mothers, and it's the voice of the community. That's what it is. It's they're elevating the voice of the community. There's no government involved at all. But definitely collaborating with academia and the government, it's important for getting this, um, you know, up and running. And I would love to ask for everybody that is watching right now to join us at miamidao.org. We are a minimum viable product right now. We got about 100 people, and I think it's good enough. I don't want to have 6 million people that live in Miami-Dade County just yet participating there. We're in our first phase as a minimum viable product, as a technology tool to raise the voice of the community, and I'm glad to expose this to you guys, because I think that the next we develop. I should say that before Beat Basel, I was actually advisor to the Bitcoin Center, and we did some interviews, we did some surveys, and we did some research about what was the best tools that we could use as far as blockchain technologies, for a community or for a city. Is it a city coin? Is it a city wallet? Is it a city DAO? And we were asking small businesses and individuals, how do they feel about using these type of new tools that the internet and the digital economy is offering to us. And after that, we found that the best way to create something like this and get people the community engaged was to create a DAO first, where people is engaged and understanding of with enough knowledge on blockchain technologies, and then create something like a Miami coin or Miami token afterwards, once everything is organized at the fund foundation level, correct, as a DAO, as an organization. And I want to repeat again, a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. And it's not happening like that because we have tokens and projects and coins, perhaps like the equity coin as well, that this is not going anywhere. This is just, it's just, I celebrate so much product that is being launched right now, in terms of gathering communities and providing value for communities. But I love to explore and see what's possible with Equity Coin. Perhaps joining or participate or collaborating at some point with the Miami DAO. We have professors from local
Mm.
universities, FIU and University of Miami, documenting this process and the progress of it. Um, and oops, I think we lost you, Vernon, there on the camera, or not. But I'll just keep um, explaining. But we'd love to see more organizations participating, understanding DAOs, and let's see, and looking forward to get the Miami DAO successfully, um, um, in providing value for all Miami-Dade County local residents. It's a way that we can also manage and understand more of the impact of the influx that it's coming from all over the US. And we want to provide, as our first goal and first mission at this first phase as an MVP, we want to provide education for 6 million people that live in Miami-Dade County with different type of level of knowledge about blockchain. And that's our first mission. The education is never enough, and the educational efforts are never enough, and we want to continue doing that from the Miami DAO. But I would love to answer some questions about either Pete Paso of the Miami DAO, just kind of like, or if you guys want us to talk about more use cases of blockchain technologies doing good, and providing value to communities out there. Are you there with us? Are you back with us?
I'm back.
Bernard?
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
not sure what happened there, but I see one person asked about the equity coin white paper. So the white paper,
Oh, there you
we
go.
are private. Yeah, we are a private offering right now. So the white paper is only for people who are in the inner circle. I would say for the moment, just because we're going through our compliance to make sure that when we go public, all of our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted with the SEC and FINRA and SIPC. So in the next few weeks, if you do uh, go to the website and put in your information, you will get the white paper in the next few weeks. And we will be listing the token by June 2023. And the reason it's going to take a few years is because it's equity coin and tokens like equity coin, we're not your traditional cryptocurrency. And the reason why I say that is because we are a security token, and a security token is backed by assets or backed by a company or backed by something that is, you know, I want to say real, but it's something that's real, right? And if our security token, we are an ERC 884 token. And an
Hmm.
ERC 884 token is it's actually a token that coincides with the blockchain initiative for Delaware. So any Delaware corporation can tokenize their assets, their shares on the blockchain so that people can own fractions of that company by using, tapping into the blockchain.
Hmm.
So that kind of gives you a background on, what our infrastructure is, for Equity Coin as a token. Um, and I'm here. I'm always available to answer questions. I love to do one-on-ones. So if anybody has any questions, they can go to the website, see the email address, shoot us an email. My assistant will certainly set up an appointment for us to have a one-on-one discussion, so that I can dig deeper into any questions that anybody might have.
Awesome, awesome. Well, congratulations, Vernon. It's amazing what you guys are doing. Just quick question. Why did you say 2022 or 2023?
2023.
Okay.
2023. It gives us enough time in order to actually, we're creating our own platform. We're creating a platform called Equity Stream, and I haven't really spoke about this publicly. So this is probably one of the first times publicly that I'm speaking about it. But Equity Stream is the Coinbase for real estate tokens. And essentially, what it does is it allows real estate operators to be able to tokenize their assets on the blockchain, and then it also allows other normal investors to be able to invest in their portfolio of assets and be able to tap into that cash flow that they're receiving. So you can learn about Equity Stream. It's equity.stream. I can send you over. We have a white paper for that as well. Um, and again, Equity Stream is the Coinbase for real estate tokens. So that
Awesome.
um, we're in the process of working with FINRA, SIPC, in order to bring Equity Stream live, so that people can buy and sell digital real estate tokens on the blockchain.
All right. It's always something new to learn. Thank you for that. It's I just want to open it to questions. I think we are in our guess last 5 or 10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. If anybody has questions, in the chat, I see a lot of comments and people joining us. I would love to see what our audience is. It's okay. I have had a big idea. Business shooting music videos. Elevate my new skills in business with NFTs. How is not art? I know it's not art pictures, but maybe certain parts of my music video, maybe. Yeah, great question. Great question, Jen. Yeah, I think that I would like to explain that the nature of NFTs or non-fungible tokens, which is a very specific encryption of blockchain technologies, uh, is related to precisely that, an encryption that its nature is a smart contract. And within the smart contract, you can have any type of file as an NFT. So the use case of our digital art or artist is, I guess, we're just scratching the surface of NFTs. But inside an NFT, as an encryption, it could be, there could be an MP4, it could be a video, just like what you're describing on your question. It could be an MP4, it could be a documentary. It really, there's no really limit to what is possible to do with NFTs. For example, there's companies that are already launching this product where tickets to concerts or tickets to specific events are NFTs, because they're validating that you are the only user of that one ticket that is untransferable, perhaps. So great question. People have many assumptions about what NFTs are, right? Or what they could be. But the NFT encryption is the nature is a smart contract, and inside that smart contract, it could be a movie, it could be your videos like you are addressing in the question, it could be an MP4, a book, it could be a book. Maybe you're thinking of launching your book, and you can launch it as an NFT. All of that are NFTs as well. I think there's more questions there. What happened with Vernon? I'm alone here, but I see your question. So, its own blockchain, is it its own blockchain token? As in, it is, do you plan to integrate it with other crypto tokens? I think that question is more for Vernon. Are you there with us again?
I'm here. I'm here.
I think you have a question. Is it its own blockchain token? As in, does it, or do you plan on integrating with other crypto tokens? I think that's a more question for the equity coin, if I'm not mistaken.
No problem. So to reiterate, equity coin is a security token, and that's different from your typical cryptocurrency. And the difference is that cryptocurrencies are quote unquote utility tokens, which means that they're not backed by any assets. They're not backed by cash or anything. They have a specific utility, and that's what they function as a cryptocurrency. But equity coin is a security token, and a security token, like I said before, it's backed by particular assets. Equity coin specifically is backed by affordable housing assets. We created the token, and again, it's an ERC-884 token, which is on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's on the Ethereum blockchain, and I think that kind of answers the question as far as what blockchain is it on. It's on Ethereum.
Excellent. And then I have Flaubert and Osa. How are you, Flaubert? Thanks for your question. You are saying, imagine that you're part of Art Basel, Miami. Well, I'm not. As co-founder of Beat Basel, we started back in 2019. I mean 2020, back in December. Our first Beat Basel was in 2020. And what we stand for is technology providers of NFTs. We have done about 8 very specific events, including Bitcoin 2021. We have a Miami Music Week edition, and it was all about NFTs in the different forms of art. Of course, teaching traditional artists how to create their new collection of NFTs digitally. But we're not part of Art Basel Miami. We do have a trademark, Speed Basel. It's only one word, Speed Basel, and we stand for live, and our trademark are we stand for live and in-person events, educational curations about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies. Um, um, So yeah, and I guess one more clarification to clarify, for the first week of December, we do have a lot of activities and multiple venues around Miami. You can have this you can find this information on at beatbasel.miami, where we are all about the technology behind it and the displays that are going to broadcast these are digital art as NFTs. But we have a lot of more informative session and educational session about the future of NFTs, not only as digital art. Uh, I think you have another question, Vernon. Are you operating
Yeah.
in the arena of centralized finance?
So yeah, I actually provided a response. It's decentralized finance, and again,
Oh,
decentralized finance and decentralized finance as an industry, I believe, is the sharing equity economy 2.0. And you're going to see a lot more companies like Equity Coin, like Equity Stream, come to light, like the Miami DAO. So I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to sit down here with everybody, answer questions. I'm an open book when it comes to my business, when it comes to what we do at Equity Coin. So please, if you have any questions, shoot it over um, on our website. And guys, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely, same here. I think we have just 1 more minute. I want to share with you guys more information about Beat Basel, or our link tree link, where you have when you can see more things from what it has been super intense here for us. I just want to share with you guys, because you can see not only the educational sessions and informative sessions, but also our programs and what we have done. It's there. Boris just shared it there. Linktree at Bitbasser, you can see our activations, what we're all about, and what's coming next from now and at least until December, for that Miami Art Week. That's going to be full of technology all over Miami, and not only just art, but perhaps projection mapping and many other technologies coming along. Uh, and any more questions? Nope. I think yeah, I'm gonna put my email as well, just in case you guys want to send me your questions and contact us as well. And all right, so I guess this is our last minutes. You want to say a last reflection, Vernon, for all of us?
Well, I just think I hope that this conversation just sparked anybody listening who's looking to start a business or has a business and looking to tap into blockchain, to um, understand that there are tools out there for you to be able to succeed. There are tools out there that if you don't have the funding, then but you do have the technology and you do have the wherewithal to make it happen, then 100% there are the funding is out there for you. And I think blockchain is a great way to be able to tap into that. And if you're starting anything, start with community. Start with community, because your community is who is the nucleus, the epicenter, the core of your business, and that's what's going to allow you to get it to the next level. And I just hope everybody enjoys the rest of the week, and let's rock and roll. It's fourth quarter, so it's time to rock and roll. Let's do it.
I think I leave you with that reflection that you could have said it better. Yeah, community first. Either if you are a startup or you have an idea, or you are part of a big enterprise, it's all about community nowadays, and how your digital presence, or your brand, it's impacting the communities online as well. So yes, you said it better. Thank you everybody for joining us. I'm not sure if we should just hang up, or but thank you everybody participating. Hop on the other sessions, great experts, and I love to connect with you guys furthermore for any questions. Thank you everybody. Have a great afternoon, and welcome Vernon in Miami. Always looking forward to see you soon in
Thanks,
person.
George. I'll see you in Miami soon.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.